I am astrologist Mona Magistus, meaning the great astrologist Mona. If it is divination you seek from me, then I ask you respect my name by learning it wholly, here and now. Divination is about precisely foretelling one's written destiny. Over-embellishing that fate only leads to misconception. Astrologers must rid themselves of material desires. Only by ridding oneself of clutter can one see the true world around them. Fate is called as such, for it cannot be changed, nor can it be reversed. It can only but be accepted. With rain this heavy, not only are the stars clouded, so too is my scryglass hazy. Which of the starry skies do these thunderbolts fall from? The pure waters of melted snow are optimal for hydromancy. One need not scry to know today's weather will be good. Your arrival is untimely. The morning star has just waned. Breakfast? No, I've already eaten. Noon is upon us. We should eat. I will have a salad, for simplicity is the way of the astrologer. Nightfall has arrived. I will soon be able to begin my divination. Did I finish writing my astrology column last night? It's already so late, and I'm no further along on finishing tomorrow's astrology column. What? You're off to sleep? I wish I could sleep now, too. The work of the astrologer is to show people what fate has in store for them, and that's exactly what I do. There will always be those, however, who are unable to accept what they're told. Why do I write reports rather than using my divination to earn mora? I would never use hydromancy for the sake of mora, nor did I learn hydromancy for that purpose. I don't know. Unless left with no other choice, astrologers do not foretell their own fate. The elders of my art warned against it, for it can turn fate in on itself, which is incredibly dangerous. As you are not from this world, I am unable to give you a prediction. All I can tell you is that your journey is far from over. When I first received my vision, the elderly woman that gave it to me, she put on this air and said, "May your heart of truth be with you." And yet this thing does nothing for my hydromancy. All it does is get me wet. That said, a vision doesn't hurt to have as a little accessory. It is, after all, the one useful study tool that miserly old lady ever gave me, in a rare act of generosity. Do you know about constellations? Astrologers believe that the patterns of the stars map out the destiny of vision bearers. Past, present, and future, everything is written in the stars. This travel companion of yours, do you know anything of her origins? No matter what, I cannot seem to discern a single shred of information regarding this floating fairy's fate. Oh? So you don't know where she comes from either? You mean the acting Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius? Her constellation is Leo Minor, which represents strength and responsibility shouldered too young. Though the lioness has been separated from her pride for a long time, she grows from strength to strength, and the day will come when she is ready to return as its glorious leader. Albedo? I envy his ability to solely focus on his research without getting bogged down in mundane, worldly affairs. What a wonderful life. If that batty old lady hadn't had one too many screws loose, perhaps that's the life I'd be living by now myself. Ah, yes, Alice's daughter. She's in the custody of the Knights of Favonius, and Albedo looks after her too. She's blessed to have Trifolium as her constellation, which represents good luck. I'm slightly envious. Although, if I'd been blessed with good luck, I suppose I never would have had the great honor of running into that old woman, would I? Diluk Ragnavinder. His constellation Noctua represents vigilance in the darkness of night. A lone guardian keeping watch, longing for the splendor of dawn, yet destined to solitude in the dark days preceding its arrival. Or wait, maybe Noct was the one tied to wealth. Kaya Albrick. He's a Pavo Ocelus, destined for greatness and grandeur, and to hide ugly realities behind a layer of charm and elegance. He believes he has made a clean break with his past, but one day fate will catch up with him. When it does, he will have a major decision to make. A Tempus Fugit. The constellation derives its name from the hourglass and stands for knowledge and time, or rather, the trade-off between them. As each grain of sand falls down, a moment of time, of life even, dies for good. To stop the unrelenting flow of sand, one would have to turn the hourglass on its side. But once the sand comes to rest, it remains motionless forever. Maybe becomes lazy is more accurate than comes to rest in this case. Venti, the bard that sits around doing nothing all day? What's so interesting about him? Sure, I guess I can take a look. That's weird. The scry glass, I can't see a thing. This wind, I can't open my eyes. No, my hat, my clothes, stop. The wind's going to strip all my clothes off. Make it stop, All right, I'll never do this again. You want to chat? For fun? Oh, I don't usually have spare time for such activities, especially when I have so many columns left to write. Then again, since it's you, it might be worth it. A change of pace once in a while isn't such a bad thing. Income. From astrology. You can't use things like mora to determine the value of astrology. You need to understand, hydromancy is the one and only means of discerning people's true destiny in the whole of Tevat. No matter how much mora or gems you might have, the value of fate is quite simply incalculable. Perhaps not the smartest question you might have had for me. You want me to explain how astrology works? I'm not sure you'd understand even if I told you, but since you ask, the method I use is called hydromancy, the art of inferring fate from the illusory reflection of the stars on the water's surface. The inverted reflection in the water is an image of the heavens from within which the truth of our world can be observed. It is the one and only success story of that old lady's research endeavors. Mona Magistus, the astrologist. We came up with that name together, the old lady and me. She said it had a nice ring to it, but then she started calling me Meg for short, which is obviously unnecessary because clearly Mona is already suffice for a shorter name. No, you are not allowed to call me that. It's embarrassing. I knew I shouldn't have told you. The golden rule all fortune tellers abide by is never offer advice. Only state the results of the divination. Otherwise, you risk your fate becoming tangled up with that of your subjects. But for you, I will make an exception to this rule, because our fates have been intertwined from the beginning. My hobby, stargazing. In this all-too-real world in which we live, we all need to look up from the dust once in a while and fix our gaze on the stars in a spirit of wonder. That, plus the whole thing about me being an astrologer. The equipment repair bill is due, and so is the final payment for that celestial globe I ordered. Also, I still need to renew my journal subscriptions, not to mention pay the rent. Which one to prioritize? I'll pay off the celestial globe first. If I leave it any longer, they'll sell out, and then I'll never get my hands on one. Oh, salad. Salad is by far the best food in the world. Cheap to buy, easy to whip up, filling, and it's the most convenient thing there is when you're working on a column or fixing some equipment. I mean, who's got time for a proper dinner anyway? You know, all those overpriced fancy foods. Personally, I think it's uncivilized and frankly dangerous to splash out and indulge yourself every time you have a little hunger pang. Happy birthday! Here's my gift to you. It's a bag containing some words of advice that may help you through tough patches. No, don't open it yet. During the year ahead, this bag will open itself when the right time comes. This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it. One step closer. Maybe soon I shall finally uncover the truth of this world. My scryglass has long since preordained all that will take place beneath the stars it reflects. In the reflection of the water, I see the ascension of the morning star.